Hi, it's Brett Ray, and I'm here in my studio and going to give you the workout of the day. One of the biggest issues, or one of the challenges I see with new people is when they come into my studio, the simple workout or simple task of squatting can be a big challenge. Even for some of my veteran people, their flexibility inhibits them from doing a full squat. Squat is one of the best exercises we can do to build up our legs. In addition, it can build our core up as well, but primarily our glutes, the butt, quads, hamstrings, calves. Okay, so you get the picture. So I'm going to show you front and I'm going to turn to the side. So with a full squat, there's two types of squats or two different ways of squatting. Some people have issues with squatting over the toes, and I think that depends on what they're doing, but I think if you have a load on your back, you really need to be careful because you don't want to throw the knee out over the foot. So here's the foot, you don't want to throw it out. But if you're using your body weight, it's perfectly fine in my opinion. So let's go from the front. Let's go with a body squat. I'm going to swing my hands out for counterbalance, okay? I like my feet a little bit over hip width. Don't want to let my knees go in. I want to force my knees out. I want to drive my butt back. So I like to keep this part of my chest pushed out and looking up as if I had a third eye looking up. I like to keep my chin up. So I want to swing, put the weight in my heels and drive them back. Okay, so forcing my knees out. Don't let your knees go in. Force your knees out. Put the weight in your heels and drive back. Okay, so my butt bone is below my knees. My chest is up and I'm pushing out and I'm driving to the floor. Use my legs and drive my hips forward. So once again, I'm going to inhale down, balance, put the weight in my heels, almost lifting the balls of the feet up so I can drive straight, force my knees open, drive my hips back. Now I'm going to drive my hips up, squeeze my butt and hamstrings. So from the side. All right, same deal. So I'm going to throw out my arms, throw out my hips. So unhinging at the hips, I'm driving out. So my knees are somewhat over top of my ankles, or should be. So this should be below, parallel, be below my knees. I'm driving out, my knees are forced out, so when I'm here at this point, I'm going to drive into the floor and push my hips forward. Inhale, and again, and drive, now full squat. This is what I see some people do, and they form bad habits, and they don't realize it. Some people squat like this, okay? That's certainly better than not squatting at all, but obviously you see the difference. If you want to have a full shape of the hamstrings and the glute and the butt, you need to drop your butt. And don't use the excuse of your knee can't go there. Maybe you can't go today, but over time, you should be able to, unless you have something severely wrong with your joint in your knee or your hip. So you push, 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 drop. Now I want to force my knees open because it's impossible for me to keep my knees together. I'm going to drop my heels in the floor, push up, okay? So if you're under a bar, same thing. You're going to drive your hips back, push the chest out, squeeze the core, drive the hips up, drive them up, push them to the floor, and press the hips forward, okay? So I hope that helps you. If you're using dumbbells, if you're using in a bar, either front squat or back squat, you should take your hips below your knees, okay? You should really go as low as you can. You gotta watch your knees, make sure they're warmed up properly before you do this movement, and work your way up to it. So half squats don't count, okay? That gives you a half of a glute and a half of a butt. Don't make excuses, just drop your butt and get it down there over time. Force your knees open, take your time. Most people's hips are tight at the beginning, but if you take your time, move into it, warm up properly, you shouldn't have any problems. So if you have questions about what I've shared with you today, you can send me an email at brettrayfitness@gmail.com, or you can reach me on Facebook, okay? So I hope this helps, and I look forward to seeing you on the next workout of the day tip.